It's almost go time in Morgantown, and in this episode, I'm going to give you 3 X factors for the West Virginia defense. If these things go well, we're going to be having a successful year. If not, we could be in for a world of trouble.
This is the Mountaineer Moment, your source for all things West Virginia football and basketball. From pregame to postgame coverage and breaking news, we've got you covered. Let's go.
Mountaineer fans, welcome to episode 296 of a Mountaineer Moment. My name's Troy, and this is your source for all things West Virginia football and basketball. Football is right around the corner, man. We can almost taste it. And in this episode, I'm going to give you 3 factors on the West Virginia defense. Last episode, 295, we talked about the offense, 3 different X factors. This time, taking it to the defensive side of things and going to give you 3 factors on that side of the ball for West Virginia football, man. And we're geared up for 2026 and getting ready. We are learning this thing, learning the pieces, learning how this thing's going to come together. It's been a lot of fun throughout the offseason, but now it's time to play football. And again, we would love for you to just join and help out this growing Mountaineer Moment community. Whatever platform you're on, hit that subscribe button, and we'll continue to build this thing together. The first X factor, we're just going to jump right in. First X factor I'm going to give you on the defense, something I've touched on in a recent episode, is I would love to see some star power on this defense, specifically like a star at all 3 levels, if we can say it that way, right? The defensive line, the linebackers, the secondary. Who's going to step up and solidify themselves as a star? In a recent episode, I talked about like when we, in the transfer portal era and lots of new pieces coming in, and West Virginia defense has had that over the last number of years. And a couple years ago, man, it was Beanie Bishop, who you were excited about as he come over from Minnesota, but then like no one expected him to have, except for maybe him, and as a confident guy and the defensive coaches at the time, him to have the kind of year that he had. I mean, and now in the NFL and doing what he's doing there. And he spent 1 year in Morgantown and had an incredible season. He became a star quickly and had success all year. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for, like, to be honest. And that might be far-fetched to say, all right, you're looking for someone to be Beanie Bishop. I'm just saying I'm looking for someone to have an impact in that regard, because we know a lot of names on this defense, and there's a mix of freshmen, JUCO guys coming over from even bigger programs like Oregon and LSU on this defense. There's guys transferring in from smaller schools, and what's that going to look like? And you recruited speed and size and length in the secondary, and you like the look of that. Your linebacking unit, a mix of, again, some guys that have been here, and Ben Cutter. A lot of people talking about Cam Torber, redshirt freshman. Could he be a guy that just sets and gets into like a starting role and just takes off and doesn't look back? You got Tyler Stolsky, Florida Atlantic, Isaiah Patterson, Malachi Hood, Ashton Woods is back again. There's just a lot of pieces, and we're going to talk about one guy that I think has star potential. And specifically in this episode is another point, but for right now, I mean, and maybe it's going to be someone that we're not even thinking of. Right? There's lots of talk about Nate Gabriel, up front right now. Zeke Durham Campbell, Coastal Carolina transfer. Harper Holloman did a lot of good things at Western Kentucky. Toby Hastrup comes from Oregon. I mean, I don't really care what you say. I mean, to be honest, in a lot of different ways, and maybe I don't fully mean this, but like if you're good enough for Oregon, you're good enough for West Virginia. They recruited him for a reason, and now he's in Morgantown, hoping to get a jumpstart to his career. What would that look like if he just went off and lived up to some potential that you're hoping for him? And then again, you look at the secondary. Choms John, redshirt senior from Georgia State with great size. Jair Rawlson from Kent State. You got a couple of JUCO guys in Damon Allen and Rayshawn Reynolds. Keyshawn Robinson's back. Vincent Smith, Mekhi Boone, Nick Taylor's back, right? Like, who's a guy or two or three that can step up? And I just think X factor on the defense. I'm not looking for 3 All-Americans and Beanie Bishop, right? Like, I'm just saying you could really use and benefit from a guy exceeding expectations to a point where, like, he's almost an all-conference guy, if not, or maybe he is an all-conference guy at all 3 levels, like a guy that just cements himself as a leader, vocally, and can help this team win football games. And I just think you need some stars. I don't think you need to walk into this thing or at the end of this thing at the end of the season say, you know what, their defense was all right, but don't really know who the leader was or don't really know who we could count on in this moment or that moment. I don't think we can afford that as a Mountaineer fan or as a Mountaineer program. Of all of these guys that we've named and talked about, you need someone to step up and be a star. Which takes me to my second point, because this guy might be just that, and he's getting a lot of talk, and deservingly so. It's Andrew Powdrell, who comes over from UNLV. He's a senior at the safety position, can play a variety of different roles, has a ton of speed, might be the fastest guy on the team, they're saying, and really, really good. And we've done, he's just good, and we've done an episode on him a couple of months ago, even at this point, talking about the potential for him to be that candidate on this team. And again, if you look at the secondary, you got Kamari Wilson from Memphis, another guy with some experience. But Matt Sig is, at the safety position going to be playing some. He's a freshman. Jacob Bradford from LSU, a redshirt freshman. Then you got some other JUCO guys, Damari Williams, redshirt sophomore, right? Like, you just got some unprovenness in the secondary. Now you got Gamir Latimer coming over from Wisconsin, which you're excited about as a senior. But there's, there's 2-3 guys that I just named that are upperclassmen. And Andrew Powdrell, if he's going to be, I don't even want to say, it'd be nice. If he exceeds expectations, let's just say, then he had an incredible year, because I think the expectations for him are pretty high. Again, deservingly so. But really could really use for him, again, this is a side note, but it's kind of building off of the first one, him to be one of those stars on the defense, like we're hoping for him to be, Andrew Powdrell. All right, after a quick word, we're going to talk about just this defense collectively and another X factor that I've touched on a little bit in recent episodes, but want to let you know this is not a sponsor like Levels that we have that sponsors the show and some others, but this is just something that I want to invite you to as a Mountaineer fan, because I think it's a fun opportunity. It's completely free. You don't have to sign up. Don't have to do nothing. Just have to play. So my friend Brian runs a game show kind of thing, a trivia game online on your phone called Gnarly Q. And on Gnarly Q, he's a big Mountaineer fan. They have daily trivia every single day, but he's got a special coming up as we count down to kickoff in just a few days. That's going to be blue and gold trivia, aka West Virginia sports trivia every single day for you to be a part of. He's going to explain what that looks like, how you can play, and how you can be a part of the fun. So listen to this fun message from my friend Brian.
Hey, fellow Mountaineer fans. My name is Brian Staley. I'm a longtime Morgantown resident, and I make a free daily trivia game called Gnarly Q at gnarlyq.com. I am very excited to say that Troy from Mountaineer Moment and I have decided to collab on a special West Virginia sports-themed trivia game called Gnarly Q Blue and Gold. It's going to be a 10-day special event that we run starting next week on August 27, and there will be 3 days of practice, so you can play the game for 3 days to get used to it. And then starting on Sunday, August 30, that will be the first day of competition in a 1-week competition that ends on Saturday, September 5th, which is the day we kick off against Coastal Carolina. Let's go Mountaineers. Basically, every day there will be 5 questions and 10 answers, 5 of which are right. The more of them that you get right, the more points you get. You can earn up to 20 points per question, so a perfect day is 100 points. And then at the end of the week, just tally up all the days and see how you compare to your friends and your family. That's how it works. It's simple. It's free. There's nothing to download. There's no account to start. No cookies being put onto your phone. Nothing like that. Very, very easy to play this game. So I hope you will join us. Troy's helped me with some questions, and we've had fun putting this together. And if you want to practice before the competition, you can just play the regular Gnarly Q now. There's a new quiz every day at midnight, general trivia. And, if you like that type of thing, check it out. Hope to see you guys when this thing starts on August 27. Let's go Mountaineers.
So I don't know what's better than that as we look forward to West Virginia football in a matter of days, and you can count down to kickoff with Gnarly Q, the blue and gold, testing your West Virginia sports knowledge with that trivia game that Brian and I have been able to collab on. And again, I said in a recent episode, man, he did like 98%, probably more of the work. But super just thankful and grateful to even have the Mountaineer Moment name on that and to be able to partner collab for that and to bring just a fun, free West Virginia sports-themed trivia to you. And so would love for you guys to do that at Gnarly Q and leave your thoughts, leave your comments on YouTube, man. Would love to hear your feedback on this new game. So, all right, last point, West Virginia football, X factors. On defense, the third thing I'm going to mention here is just how quickly can this unit adjust. I forget who it was, and I should have looked it up before I hit record. Maybe someone in the West Virginia secondary a couple weeks ago was interviewed, press conference, and mentioned, all right, how's it going adjusting to this system? Is it hard to learn? My gosh, who was it? It's going to drive me nuts. You can leave it in the comments, or maybe I'll figure it out and leave it in the comments. But learning the defensive scheme and Zach Alley and learning how this thing's going to work. And again, now you got a lot of new pieces that you're going to be counting on, like lots of new starters and depth pieces this is their first year in the system. How's that going to work? Now that the player responded confidently, which you would expect them to do so, but like that got me to thinking, man, like, how quickly is this team going to adjust, and how early and often are we going to see miscues that could be costly? I mean, now, every time a team scores against you, right, something went wrong in your defense that you would like to fix. But sometimes there's like glaringly obvious, crazy miscues and mishaps that lead your team to a loss or a broken play and things like that, where guys are just wide open. And a lot of times you can chalk that up to inexperience. You can chalk that up to someone someone blowing a coverage, blowing the assignment. And more often than not, you're going to have that and the higher probability of those things happening with inexperience in the system or just a lack of understanding of it. And so how quickly will this team, this unit defensively adjust at all three levels? Again, you have a mix of experience, you have some return, not a whole lot, and you have some freshmen coming in, and then you got some guys coming in from the JUCO ranks and looking to step it up in the Big 12. How quickly will they adjust? I just think that's a factor, right? Because if we head into the Big 12 season and we're not super confident about our defense at that point, at what point in the season will we start to be, if ever? Like, how quickly is this team going to look like the unit that you think you can win with? Because if it's out the gate and you like what you see and that trend continues, then West Virginia football might have a really good season. If not, and you look back on this season and say, well, the defense never really pulled it together. And again, you can chalk that up in a large part due to the fact that they've never played together. They've never been a part of this system. This is a new thing. How quickly will they learn? How good of a job will Zach Alley do in getting these guys ready? And I believe he's working his tail off to do so. And I think you learn some things along the way, right? Maybe even getting the guys ready for 2025 last year, and you realize, well, that didn't work, or this didn't work, or this message wasn't received, or this was a blown coverage. I need to fix that up, and not let that happen again, even with a new group of guys. And so I think there's potential for that coaching staff, because there's unity there, to be able to do that, across the board. But those are my three X factors. Again, you need some stars. You need some guys to really play above even what you're thinking right now. Andrew Powdrell, again, being one of those, potentially, my pick to be kind of a leader on certainly the secondary, but on this defense as a whole. And then how quickly does this defense adjust to new scheme, new team, new city, new coaching staff, new players you're playing beside, all of that. It's fascinating, right? In the new era of college football that we find ourselves in, it's a rebuilt team, and we're hoping to have a successful Mountaineer football season And if these things go according to plan on defense and on offense, like we talked about in the recent episode, we might be looking at a Mountaineer team that has success, and we all could use that. All right, episode 296, Mountaineer Moment in the books. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to check out Gnarly Q. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's go Mountaineers.